tell us what to do. You think you can tell us how to game. You think that you're famous, well you better get ready. Bowser's Last Castle. Take it down. Regenerate into podcast fools. We just got tired of the other hosts acting like tools. Hey, those are my toys. Retro power, little man. Take it down. Regeneration. Action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most unwoke, unfiltered, uncensored, most base podcast on the internet. My name is Jimbo from Retro Game Lounge. That is Chris from CM Retro Gaming. And this is the next episode, episode 5 of the Regeneration X podcast. They are never shutting us down. Chris and I are not suicidal. No, they're not going to get us. But I'll tell you one thing. Anyone who comes and tries to make us suicidal is suicidal. We're just going to get that out of the way. Don't fucking try it. Just don't. It's not going to end well for you. Seriously. We're laying in bed thinking about that stuff, maybe low-key waiting for that to happen. So it's just be like, okay, everything I prepared for this, it's going into effect right now. Thank you. I've got it all planned out. Like we're talking Kevin McAllister Home Alone shit, like that level of planning. Where we're ready.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the best memes ever to this day, one of the most legendary memes I've ever seen, was a simple question. If it came down to it, and it was the Predator versus Kevin McAllister, who would win, and the response was perfect, how much prep time does Kevin have? That's the only thing that's going to stop him. Does he have sufficient time to prepare? Because if so, Kevin's got this shit. My money's on Kevin, bro. It's, if the rumors are true, and Macaulay Culkin hasn't confirmed this, but he thinks it's amazing. The rumor is that Kevin grew up and became the Jigsaw killer from Saw. And Macaulay Culkin was like, I like that. He's like, I'm actually on board with that. I'm
You know what?
When you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, because at any time, Kevin could have left his house and ran to the police station, but he didn't. Which means he wanted to hurt them.
He's a psychopath. Kevin's a low-key psychopath because psychopaths enjoy other people's misery. So just kind of saying. So Crystal Ball, it's good to see you, brother. I mean, I'm not going to say we don't talk because you and I talk almost every day at this point, but what's new? Anything new, exciting?
Oh, well, listen, we had a pretty full week, picked up 6 hours of overtime on Saturday night. Then Monday, we had to register for classes for the Tactical Officers Convention. I got into a pistol class called First Hits Fast. It's a speed and accuracy class. And then Wednesday, I had my presentation for my Officer First Class designation. I aced that, so add 2% to the base pay. But it's been a long week, and I'm very excited to be on the Regeneration X podcast. We have a hell of a show lined up. We have a damn good show lined up.
We do. We have a lot of things.
This is going to be great.
It is. This is going to be a banner episode. We got a lot of great news. We have funny news, gaming news, politics news. We've got a new Hey Stupid. We're coming at this from all angles tonight, guys. But before we get into anything, because I feel I have to bookend the way that the last episode ended, because I told you guys what I was going to be doing that weekend. And I am wearing a shirt. I don't know if you can tell what this is. This is the Scream 30th anniversary Kill Tour shirt. I'm not going to swing around and show you the back, but on the back, it's got all the victims broken down by movie, all their names. So Scream 1, Scream 2, yada yada. So it's the Kill Tour 30th anniversary, where it looks like a fucking concert t-shirt.
Nice.
I took one look at that. I'm like, I've got to fucking own that. I need that in my life. So not going to get into a full-blown review, but I'll give you guys the 50,000 foot, because some people on social media reached out to me and asked me to comment on this because they were fellow Scream fans. Okay, so what did I think of Scream 7? I didn't hate it. I liked it a little bit more than some of the other Scream movies. I've never really seen a bad Scream movie, in my opinion. Like, I've genuinely liked all of them, just for different reasons. I will say some constructive criticism. The killer reveal in this one was fucking dumb. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I figured out who one of them was the second the actor showed up on screen, because I was like, there's no way they're wasting this guy. Because, like, there's an actor that shows up in what seems like a throwaway role where he's only going to be in one scene. I'm just like, there's no way. I'm like, there's no way they brought this dude in. Like, he's not a huge name, but he's got a decent resume. And I'm like, nah, this is coming back around. Like, if he's not the killer, then this is going to loop back at the end. Shocker, he's one of the killers. And the motivations for one of the killers I thought was utterly fucking stupid, where I was like, dude, even by Scream standards, this is a fucking stretch. Like, this
yeah, right?
Dumb. Like, some of the killers in Scream have kind of made sense. Like, I mean, you know, I'm not going to call spoilers on part. If you haven't seen Scream 2 at this point, Jesus Christ, it's fucking almost 30 years old. Go watch that goddamn movie. But, like, the Scream 2 killers, like, that at least kind of makes sense. I mean, you know, one of them is Billy Loomis's mother. She obviously wants revenge because Sydney killed her son. Okay, sure, that makes sense. Like, she says it in the movie, you know, my motivations are good old-fashioned revenge. And I'm like, that makes sense. So, part 3, it's her half-brother, and he's, like, sick and tired of Sydney getting all the fame because, you know, her mom, like, ruined his life and shit. A little bit of a stretch, but still kind of makes sense. Like, that's logical motivation. Part 4, sure. Like, you know, it's her niece or cousin or whatever it is. Like, and I'm sick of everything being about Sydney. Like, you know, sick of the spotlight. Sure. Like I get that one. Part 5 made a little bit less sense, but it was still like, okay. Like, I didn't hate the reveal. It was more like, didn't see that coming. This one, just stupid, but I'm not going to shit all over it. There was one thing I liked about it. I can't say this is an empirical fact because I don't have, like, data in front of me, but based upon my somewhat extensive knowledge of the franchise, I would venture to wager that this Scream movie has more Ghostface on screen than any of the other ones combined by a huge margin. He is, like, relentless in this one. Like, it's normally you get, like, Ghostface sequence, then you get, like, 15-20 minutes of nothing. This is, like, the most that it goes between A and B on that is, like, 5 minutes. And, like, you think it's going to lull, and boom, like, we're off to the races again. I'm like, shit, man. Like, he's not wasting any time this time. That being said, the voice of Ghostface, Roger Jackson, the same guy who's been playing the voice, you know, when he makes the phone calls in the movies, he's only in, like, 2 scenes. Like, there's a couple, but most of it is something else. I'm sure people can figure out what that is. I can't really say what it is without spoiling the ending, and I don't want to spoil it for people, but there's something else that kind of takes the place of a voice changer, I guess. Like, there's still plenty of calls. I'll just use that word loosely.
Yeah.
Let's just say they're using newer technology. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. So, but to conclude, if you're a Scream fan, go see it. Like, it's not terrible. It's not the worst Scream movie ever made. Like, it's okay. It's not going to be one of the best ones, but the kills are awesome. Like, a couple of them are graphic as fuck, where I was like, wow, like, Scream doesn't normally go for the gore, but this one I was like, that was creative. Like, that was impressive. So, all in all, not bad. I enjoyed it. The people in the movie theater with me made it really fucking annoying, where I actually had to move seats because we had an entire row of people who don't know what "shut the fuck up" means. So, fortunately, the theater wasn't that full. We were, like, all the way at the back, so I just, like, motioned to the wife. I was like, dude, let's move down a few rows, and we just kind of got away from the fucking, you know, goddamn peanut gallery who doesn't shut the fuck up. I mean, dude, there was a guy in there who brought his, like, 4 or 5-year-old to this fucking movie. Dude, this is a hard fucking R. Like, seriously. Like, this is...
I mean, that's not appropriate.
That's not
You know what I
appropriate.
mean?
Like I'm not going to tell you what to do with your kid, but at the same time, dude, a kid doesn't know how to act in this, and the kid's like reacting to what's going on screen.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at the kid for being a kid, but I can't get mad at you for being a dumbass and not using better judgment.
And developmentally, they're not going to know the difference between right or wrong until they're about 8 to 10 years old anyway, and what the consequences are. So when this kid grows up and starts stabbing people, he's going to say, well, my dad took me to see Scream in the theaters when I was 4 years old.
Yes. Revex community, I don't need a 10 out of 10 movie anymore. It's okay. Then this is fun and enjoyable. Like if you're going in with that expectation, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It is fun. Nev Campbell is awesome.
Let me tell you something about Nev Campbell, brother.
She's a cutie pie. And it's all right. So this isn't a spoiler. Not really. It's kind of a throwaway line, but she does say something in it she's kind of speaking to her character, but I guess to the audience at the same time. It's a very meta line where she gets accused of being past her prime, like in those exact words. And it comes back around with her saying, like, past my prime, fuck you. Like she and like just mic drops it where she's like, I still got it, motherfucker. Let's get that straight.
She's still solid, but man, she had a little run there. She was in the Screams, right? And then she was in Wild Things, and then she was in The Craft. And it was like, man, this is like
she's been around, bro. And it all started on Party of Five. Let's not forget that. That's where the world was introduced to Nev Campbell. What's up, Jenks? How's it going, brother? So if you're just going to see a fun movie, go see it. Like I've got my issues with it, but I'm a nitpicker of the Scream franchise, so I'm a bad person to ask. Like there's a few boxes they didn't check, and given that this is the first of the Scream franchise run by Kevin Williamson, the very man who created the franchise. And this is his first time being in the director's chair, like running the whole fucking thing, wrote it, directed it, everything. I guess I just expected more because it's like, bro, the fucking man himself is running this bitch.
Yeah.
And no one's going to tell him what to do. They're just going to be like, Kevin, you got this. Just call us if you need us. So I expected a little more, but it had its moments. You know, maybe it will age well. Maybe on my second viewing, my opinion will change. But overall, I'll give it a thumbs up. So that's item number A, or item A. The other thing I was doing. So anyone who follows me on Twitch would actually know this. All right, Aaron, we'll get to your comment in just a second. Jesus Christ, bro. Like fucking shit.
Listen,
you're
man,
totally derailing my story. Fuck.
Shit happens.
Like literally when you're Aaron's. All right, fuck it. We're just going to get this out of the way. All right. So fun fact, I missed the first 45 minutes of Scream 2 in the theater because I had explosive diarrhea from McDonald's. All right. Well, you know what? Your DNA is weak and you're not meant to survive. All right. So I'm sorry. You can't fucking cut it, bitch. So, all right. So anyone who follows me on Twitch or on Facebook would know I pretty much spent the whole weekend playing Resident Evil Requiem. To say that my lack of disappointment was immeasurable, I'm just gonna riff on fucking food, bro. There was zero disappointment in any of this game. This is one of the greatest video games I have ever played in my entire life. Not just one of the best Resident Evil games, one of the best games, period, that I have ever played. It was that fucking good. In my opinion, the greatest Resident Evil game of all time. I know my buddy Shifty's gonna fight me on that and say part 4 is the best. Part 4 is great, but part 4 walked so that RE9 could run. This is head and shoulders above RE4 on every level. Story, action, mechanics, graphics, the voice acting, like the investment that you have in the characters when you've literally been following these people for this long. Dude, this was like fucking catharsis in the realm of a video game. Like I know Chris doesn't know like a fucking thing about what I'm talking about, so I'll give him the quick Cliffs notes. All right, so Leon Kennedy is one of two main people in this. Like he's kind of the OG, and Grace is kind of the new person. She's like a young 20-something, young FBI agent getting sent in the field for the first time, and Leon has been doing this shit for like 30 years. Like he's the old fucking veteran where dispatching the undead is just another day at the office when you're Leon Kennedy. So, Leon Kennedy's first appearance in the Resident Evil franchise was in Resident Evil 2. That was when basically the outbreak in Raccoon City happened. So the first one takes place at the mansion. It's very confined. In the second one, it's a citywide epidemic. Well, on what we would know is like the modern day like zombie apocalypse handle. angle where it's just like the city's infested or whatever. It's literally his first day as a police officer. He is driving to work for the Raccoon City Police Department, and he drives into the zombie apocalypse on his first fucking day when he's 21 years old, fresh out of the academy, like hasn't had any actual field duty, and this is his first day. I think he wins the award for worst first day of any job ever. So that is the last time that he was in Raccoon City for one very simple reason. At the end of, technically it's Raccoon City 3, or excuse me, Resident Evil 3, not Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2 and 3, Chris, they don't run exactly parallel, but they basically run somewhat side by side. Like it's a little complicated. I won't get into the hinges, but for lack of a better analogy, let's just say they run parallel. So at the end of Resident Evil 3, Raccoon City is destroyed. They kind of retconned it because originally it was supposed to be a nuke where basically the government can't save the city. They drop a nuke on it basically to eradicate the virus. And literally the entire city is gone. So there was no reason to go back there. They retconned it later and they called it a thermobaric bomb. So it's basically like a nuke without the radiation. So it's like, yes, it still fucking destroyed everything, but it doesn't glow in the dark. So through the course of events in Resident Evil 9, Leon goes back to Raccoon City for the first time since he was a 21-year-old cop, and he's 51 now. So it's literally 30 years since he's been back there. And you get to go back to the Raccoon City Police Department, which is like where a lot of the action in part 2 happens. And he gets there and he's like, I can't believe it's still standing. And he's like, he's opening the door. And while he's doing this, you're seeing like on screen, like flashbacks to the fucking second game, to the point where he sees the lobby, which is this big sprawling thing. The RPD station used to be an art museum. So it's a lot fancier than your typical police station that I'm sure you're used to. Like you're looking at this, you're like, this is a fucking police station? Like, what the shit, man? I'm missing out. So they play a musical cue, not from the remake, but from the original RE2 game on PlayStation, that only fucking edgelords like me would have caught. It's really fucking quick. It's just a little soliloquy where it's just like, and you're just like, bro, it hit me in the goddamn feels. Like, It's like, it felt like, all right, yeah, Leon hasn't been back here in 30 years, but you know what? Neither have I. And so it's like, yeah, he's getting old, but we're getting old together. So it's okay. Like, I've been with him on this entire journey, and it's just like, it kind of all came back around to where it began, which I think is the whole theme of Requiem, is like, he feels that he's trying to fix the mistakes that he made because he doesn't feel he did a good enough job, even though it's like, dude, you're 21 years old and you're a fucking rookie. You're not going to get everything right. You can't save everybody. He did a pretty good job, all things considered, because first of all, he didn't die. So he saved enough people to make a difference, in my opinion, but he's got survivor's guilt. Like why didn't I die? Why did this person die, and why wasn't it me, etc. So he's kind of trying to make it right. And there is 0% of this game that I was unsatisfied with. I thought I would be a little bit annoyed with Grace because she's very Gen Z. It's very obvious she has social anxiety, because whenever she is talking to someone, she's like looking down. She can't look at them in the face. It's all very Gen Z shit. And you can tell that she's very socially awkward. She's not really used to speaking to people, like all of these cliche Gen Z things. And I thought that was really going to get on my nerves, but like, her portions of the game I actually felt were just as good as Leon's. Like, hers are all about being terrified because she has no skills. She's just trying to stay alive. She can barely operate a gun, and she's just trying to get through the night. So it's like her segment where you're in this kind of confined type building type thing. Like, she's just trying to get from point A to point B and not die. So then Leon shows up, and then you get to run through it again as him. And it's like being John Wick. So like all the fucking fear in it, you're like, no, it's like fucking Rorschach from Watchmen. It's like, oh, you think I'm trapped in here with you? No, you're trapped in here with me. Like that is what you feel like, dude, where it's just like, I'm ready for this. Like, I'm ready for this. You guys are stuck in here with me, and I'm going to clean house. And it is immensely fucking satisfying. To quote my buddy Shifty, your reward for suffering through like the mental trauma of Grace is getting to play as Leon. So it's like you go in underpowered and you come out overpowered. And it's just immensely satisfying when you've been like afraid of the most basic enemy. And then you come through and you just cut through them like a knife through warm shit. It is so immensely satisfying to do that shit. I strongly recommend, Chris, I want you to play Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2 first.
Well, which one should out of those two, which one should I play first?
2.
All right.
Play the remake of Resident Evil 2. In my opinion, it is just as good as the original and in some ways even better.
Because there's a couple different versions on the PlayStation, right? Let me check. I'll tell you.
Yes.
I'll tell you which version I have.
The RE2 remake is one of the benchmarks. Like that is how you remake a game correctly. I think you'll like that. Yeah, I think you'll like that one. That's my personal favorite Resident Evil game other than Requiem.
I have just the regular Resident Evil 2.
What year is it from?
I don't know. I'd have to go dig it out of the tote.
Does it look PlayStation or does it look modern?
No, it's like
okay, that's the original.
Right.
Okay. Play the remake. That came out just a few years ago.
Okay. And then I have Resi 4 on PS4 and PS2.
Okay. All right. Play Resident Evil 2 first. Because, like, to better understand Resident Evil 4, because that's Leon's second game, you need to play Resident Evil 2 because that's his first game. Resident Evil 4 will be more entertaining when you understand where he came from because he's a very different person between those two games. Because in 2, he's a rookie cop, like still learning, a good person, but just still kind of like get his footing. In Resident Evil 4, this dude has spent the entire time between those two games training, and he's like an elite fucking agent at that point. Like he's got his shit together. So, and by the time you get to Resident Evil 9, he's like, it's like masterclass. Like he's got it down as far as dispatching these things. Like he's older. There's a little more crickety cracks and shit when he moves and everything because he's in his 50s now, but he can still do it. Like he can still pull it off. He's just got to put a little bit more effort into it. Where I'm watching him do this. I'm like, wow, that's exactly how I feel. Like I can still do most of this shit, but I just got to try a little bit harder. It's like, there's a little more cricks and cracks when I do things. Like I can still get there. It's just a little more joint noise, I guess. I'm sure you know what I mean, Chris, since we're the same age, but no, I want you, like, you could potentially skip the other games and just play like 2, 4, and 9. And I think you'd be happy. Like he is in Resident Evil 6. That tends to be the most hated game in the series. I think it gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I like it. But 2, 4, and 9, you could play those 3 and not know anything else about the franchise really, and it would make sense. So Mr. Pingan seems to agree with me. You put his comment on screen. You get the full character arc with those 3. Yeah, in my opinion, yes. Like there's little nods to part 6 and part 9, but like only edgelords like me are going to catch it. So it really doesn't matter. Like the stuff that matters, like the stuff that actually shapes the character are in those 3 games. Like the main plot arc are those 3 games. The other stuff is like side quests, for lack of a better word. So give those a shot, dude. Put it. I know this isn't your thing, dude. One OG gamer to another. The stories in these are so fucking good that, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if this style of game isn't your thing. If you simply like a really good story and you like well-developed characters, I think this might turn a new leaf for you. So give it a shot. And play as Leon in Resident Evil 2. You get a choice. Play as Leon first, and then play as Claire. So like their stories kind of like do this, like it's kind of an intermingling story.
Yeah.
But I play as Leon first. They play very differently, in my opinion, in a good way. So, okay. So that's my review of Resident Evil 9. Guys, go out and fucking play it. Like you probably don't need to hear that from me. It is quite literally the highest rated game of all time on Metacritic. Of all fucking time. It has the highest score ever. And in my opinion, it deserves it. This is a fucking masterpiece. This is Capcom doing what they do best, investing in characters, doing fan service, and giving the fans what they want. That is the most important part. They gave us what we wanted. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, we got to talk about some other good news here, man. But we're gonna dip our toes into politics just a little here. Aaron, if you've never played the remakes, Aaron, get your fucking shit together. Oh, first, you need to get a Series X to be able to play them. So come on, dude. We're gonna talk about the new Xbox system tonight. It's gonna come out soon, and you don't even have the current one. Like, come on, get it together, dude. Jesus. Excuse me. All right. So we got to talk a little bit. We're going to dip our feet into politics just a little bit here, man. And we got to talk about the fact that we could say our colleague, Chris, because we're both YouTubers. We run in a little bit different circles, but Brandon Herrera is technically a YouTuber. He's a lot of other things, but he is a YouTuber. That's where he makes a considerable portion of his living. He's on the Unsubscribed podcast, one of my favorite podcasts out there. And he has successfully won his bid for United States Congress because the piece of shit that he was running against, who is being thoroughly investigated by the Congressional Ethics Committee, has decided to drop out. But to be fair, they were already going to go to a runoff anyways, because the way it works in Texas is the two highest people basically are forced into a runoff, and you can only win out of the gate if you get 50% of the vote. But Brandon got about 2,000 more votes than this guy did, and this guy's the incumbent. So he beat this guy fair and square in a straight up voting race. I'm really amazed that the other guy was getting any votes at all, to be perfectly honest, when what has come to light about the affair that he had with this poor woman who apparently killed herself by setting herself on fire, and he was denying all of this stuff. I heard that he has come out and admitted it now. Mm-hmm. How people like this get votes is really beyond me.
Yeah, it really speaks to the sliminess of American politics.
Yeah, it does.
Because in no world is this. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But listen to Herrera talk, right? He's a gun guy. I'm a gun guy, so we would be besties.
Me too.
Little heart necklaces. We could break them into 3 parts, and we could each get one and give one to him. You know, his gimmick is like, you know, the voice of the people need to be heard, and I want to represent the people, and I want to listen to what they have to say. But understand, like, he's not in charge of some, you know, shit kicking dirt district in Texas. It's like District 23, which encompasses San Antonio. So tactically, when it comes to conservatives taking back these cities, San Antonio is the 7th largest city or 8th largest city in the United States. So starting to win back some of these voter bases in these really important cities is actually a really, really good thing. So I really hope this works out, and I hope that he actually does what he says that he's going to do and makes life better for Texans down there in the 23rd district.
I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see him vote in favor of anything resembling the word gun control. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Yeah, right.
Because, I mean, on top of being a gun YouTuber, he's also a gunsmith and a gun store owner. So it's kind of in his best interest all around for the pew-pews to be accessible to the people. You know, that's kind of his thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing like his first speech, you know, on the floor of Congress, like speaking on bills and shit. I hope he brings the same candor that he's known for on YouTube, and like I hope he drops F-bombs, to be perfectly honest. Like sometimes we need some of that, where it's like guys who are going to speak the truth and like look directly at his coworkers, other Congress people, and just be like, how can you sit up here and lie about that? Like, seriously, you're a liar. Like, I want to see that level of decanter in people.
Yeah, and honestly, until that stuff starts happening, until you start getting in their faces about their nonsense, about their lies, this fucking shit's going to continue. So, because they're getting away with it. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the other thing, the other big thing that we want to talk about.
Indeed. Hey, don't give them their dessert first, bro. We're saving them. We got to get
them know that there is a dessert.
There is definitely a dessert. But perfect segue to the next segment. So since we talked about Brandon Herrera winning, we got to talk about who lost. And oh God, was this fucking satisfying when I found this out. So I'm sure most of the people watching this know who she is just because of the level of mouth that this woman has. She just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. But Lady Jasmine Crockett lost her. She unsuccessfully ran for was it Senate? I think, because she basically got booted out of Congress and she tried to run for Senate.
Yeah,
and she lost.
Yeah, they redistrict and her seat was absorbed, so it was gone.
Yes. So she has lost her bid for Senate fair and square, and it was not close. The guy that beat her, we'll talk about that guy in a minute, because he's not a picnic either. But I think this call, before we get into the negativity of that, I think this calls for a little bit of celebration. So I prepared a little highlight reel for you guys, showing some good stuff here, so we get to enjoy it together. Let me flip this around so we can go in video viewing
Don't
mode.
you love it when the left fall flat on their hypocritical faces? Well, that's what
Yes, I
happened in
do.
Manchester when a morning event for the Ayatollah was crashed by Iranians celebrating his death.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. This might be the wrong clip. Excuse me, guys. Give me just a second. Yes, it is. Okay, that's okay. I've got the right one somewhere.
Humiliating and embarrassing
Here we go.
defeat to a lesser-known Democrat, State Representative James Tallarico.
No one. I gotta get through this.
And so now she cries. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better person.
Okay, I can't resist.
Emotional damage.
I mean, it's
You're yelling.
Don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
Please calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5? Just
what she should have been saying is like, excuse me, can we get the black guy with the fucking strong pimp hand over here? And he just comes over here and just slaps the fucking taste out of her mouth. It's like, why can't we weaponize this when it's funny? Jesus Christ. You know? Just comes over, just slaps the weave right off her head.
Because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal.
I'm tripping.
Yes, it does. Chris, you're a professional. When someone commits a crime, does that not make them a criminal?
Yes, and then they're found guilty of that crime to further affirm the fact that they're a criminal. And once that is documented, it actually goes on a piece of interwebs legislation called your criminal history report. So
It's all right there in the title. Criminal.
It's right there.
Keyword.
Right there.
Keyword, folks.
Yeah.
Criminal.
You can search it. Google it.
Yes. Mr. Pingen asks, how can she cry cheating when it was a Dem primary? I mean, she wasn't even running against a Republican. So it's just like, how, like, are you accusing your own party of cheating? If that's the case, then I agree. Yes. So, but I'm okay with it this once. So it's okay.
Yeah. Listen, sacrifices need to be made. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. All right. I got to put this one on because this is gold. Introducing the new Congressional Sergeant at Arms, a pimp named Slickback.
yeah. Maybe we could get Elizabeth Warren to do it because she's a fake Native American and she can claim to be from the Slapaho tribe.
She
Go ahead
can.
and smack her.
It's not racist when she does it.
No.
All right, let's watch her do her bullshit here because this gets even better.
Sliding, I'm riding through the back like fuck. Must have on a beat, bro.
Yeah, this is what I want to see Congress people doing. Ratchet ass fucking bullshit.
Yes, goodbye and good riddance, you race baiting, in need of anger management classes, utter moron.
How is it that the goddamn Australians are less woke than American journalists? Like, what the fuck? Why aren't they coming over here? Like, lady, come over here. We want you here. Seriously. Like, what? Fucking shit, man. Like, I'm jealous. Like, what? This is America, for Christ's sake. We are never second best at anything. Why do their journalists kick our journalists' ass? That's not fair. I'm fucking angry about this shit, all right? We need to do better. I want to see spicier journalism.
And yet, right on cue, here are the lefty meltdowns about it.
This is not America! Okay, I'm so upset. I cannot believe this is happening to our country. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, Governor Abbott. All y'all. Shame. Shame. Shame on you guys.
What does the governor have to do with this? But sure.
This is ridiculous. You're going to do whatever you can to
She lost in a national or the
suppress
state
our
election,
vote,
rather. The governor doesn't control that. This is for
Yeah,
Congress.
Oh dear. Well, at least Jasmine has one fan at least. And have a listen to the guy who's actually won that race, James Tallarico.
This is where it gets
seriously
interesting.
The best the Dems could come up with?
Oh boy.
Is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary.
Right. God is non-binary. Okay, then.
What?
And it doesn't end there. In fact, he may even be worse than Crockett.
Trans children are God's children, made in God's own image. There's nothing wrong with them. Nothing at all. They are perfect, they are beautiful, and they are sacred.
And badly parented.
I mean, this is truly sick. And this is peak lunatic asylum. And it won't even shock you to know that he can't even say the word woman.
As citizens. Every one of our neighbors with a uterus became the property of the state.
Neighbours with a uterus? Wow, that is a new one.
I've really only got one thought on this new Tallarico guy, to be perfectly honest.
Gay as fuck. You guys are gay as fuck.
That's really the only thing I can say. That's the way that this is striking me. It's like, yeah, this Tallarico guy sounds gay. It sounds like he asked his boyfriend's permission for probably a lot of things in the house.
Yeah.
Probably married to a woman, but because he's like, he wants to keep a public image, like he's just kind of trying to confuse himself. Like, bro, I'm not gay. Like that guy I fucked last night. Like, no, that's not gay. Like, I'm married. It's like, all right, bro. Like, just keep telling yourself that. But you know, Tony thinks you're gay, and I think you're gay. But yeah. So
Well, and then he said something about the border should be like the welcome mat on the back porch
Yes.
of the Texas home. And you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But someone needs to go check his browser history. He's that guy.
yeah, he is. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Guys, this is why Jasmine Crockett is this week. We couldn't have an episode of this show without Alice Cooper, so it's just saying. Yeah, Jasmine Crockett, without question, was this week's Hey Stupid, although I will admit, this is a tough race. I had a couple of other candidates in mind, but I was considering one that would have been our first repeat offender because we deemed her to be one last on a previous episode, but
yeah.
I was like, but we haven't had Jasmine Crockett specifically yet.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, nah.
You know what's crazy about Jasmine Crockett? People in Texas, like I'm assuming that everybody in the chat is from the United States and we love to represent our states.
Yes,
But fucking Texas, they love being from fucking Texas. Like,
absolutely.
they love that. They get off on that. They jerk off going to bed at, oh, fuck, Texas, right? So the fact that they would elect this carpetbagger from Missouri who went to private school, went to like private Catholic school, has been propped up and put in this district, why they would put up with her shit for so long. If you listen to Jasmine Crockett talk, like she'll talk just like we're talking, like, well, yeah, we had this, right? And then she like turns the ghetto up. And I can't be hanging around with no conservatives because, they be like, you feel me, white supremacists, you heard? Like, what the fuck? You don't talk like that. You're putting on a show.
It is.
Yeah,
and then
Steve, they know what I'm talking. People from Texas love being from Texas. And you know what else they love? They love saying shit like, oh, we're the only state that could succeed from the union. Yeah, do it, motherfucker. Lose your federal funding, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. We love you. We just love you. But I can't believe people in Texas would put up with her shit for that long. It's remarkable.
It's
just
Dallas.
goes to further prove the fucking point about politics that these people aren't really elected; they're more installed.
They're chosen. Yeah. All right. Since we're dick measuring on states here, I've got to put Rivex comedian and Frankie T. Sweet in there. Okay, guys, if we're really gonna go tit for tat here, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that my state wins because both of your states have blue districts and mine has 0. That would be the great state of West Virginia. Fight me. Look at a fucking voting map. There are no blue cities. There are no blue counties. It is quite literally the reddest state in the union. No contest. So when it comes to politics, when it comes to the pew pew, bro, Your gun rights in West Virginia ain't going anywhere. I will add to that, ladies and gentlemen, and this is my final fuck you, wink, wink to both of you. West Virginia has a bill in the state Senate right now that if passed, I will be able to go to the police station and legally buy a Class 3 machine gun.
Woo! That makes you want to give him the old Rick Rude swivel hits, baby.
Woo! It's like
going from 6 to midnight.
Yes. Top that, motherfucker. Seriously. Beat that. It's probably not going to pass, don't get me wrong. And even if it did, the ATF could still come and take your gun. So it's kind of like the pot law where it's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay on like the municipal level, but that doesn't mean the feds can't come and fuck you up. But dude, it's West Virginia. We no one's going to snitch on you here. You don't have to worry about it. Did your neighbor get a machine gun? What neighbor? What do you fucking, I don't answer questions. Get the fuck out of here, Fed. No one's going to snitch on you here, bro. Like, you are fucking protected. This is like being in prison. So don't even worry about that. Frankie T. Sweet says, my state has the best governor in the union. He's not the worst governor. I will give you that. Ron, for the most part, is a net positive. I don't agree with everything he does, but a lot of things he does, I do agree with.
I don't know. He was a JAG officer in the Navy, and you know you can't trust people in the Navy or cops.
Nope. So get off my show, Chris.
Okay.
No, it's all good. No, it's like I will give DeSantis credit. Being the first governor to take on property tax and the way he did it, I thought was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, he's not really gaining anything by doing this. Like, this isn't lining his pockets or whatever. Like, he's literally lowering the state's fucking income just because it's the right thing to do. That's a good move. Apparently Texas is looking into it. The rumor is West Virginia is looking into it too. I hope, Trump wants to ban it fucking nationwide. And in my opinion, it should be. I think it's fucking stupid. You shouldn't be taxed for fucking existing, dude. That's dumb. Taxes.
Yeah, there are so many taxes. When it's like, if I die, the government gets
then you get taxed
40% of the money that they've already taxed.
Death tax. It's like, remember the live action Popeye?
Yeah, with Robin
Around
Williams.
the town taxing everyone. It's like, like 38 cent, like parking a boat without a permit tax. Like, the guy just makes shit up off the top of his head. That's what the United States feels like sometimes, where it's just like, that's a tax? Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's fucking dumb. So I digress. But all right. We'll quit dick measuring on states, man. Florida, Texas, West Virginia, Ohio, they're all great states. Like, that's all fine. No state is perfect. Believe me, West Virginia is not perfect. It has its detractors, man. It really does. But overall, in my opinion, pretty good state. I like it here so far, but I've only been here for a few months. The taxes here are fantastic, bro, because they're like really fucking low. So it's like the income tax is low. There is no vehicle property tax at all. Like, that's gone. Like, that part is awesome. The fiscal part is fucking great. The problem with that is, like, there's a few municipal things that they don't do as well as the states that have those taxes, like snow removal. It's like, oh, is that what my taxes were paying for? Because now it's starting to make sense. But I'll take all of that with being able to opt out of the tax, where it's just like, okay, you can't ruin my snow. So what? I'll deal with it. Like, it's fine. Like, so I'm stuck in my house for a few days. Okay. I guess I got to go buy a 4x4 or something. Like, sure.
Yeah, make sure you got some SpaghettiOs and ramen in the pantry just in case.
Facts.
Rough it for a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, like, this is one room in my house. I have an arcade. I've got a fucking pimp living room with like a fucking movie theater size television. My house is designed for fun because that's the way I designed it. So if I need to hold still for a while, it's going to be a long time before I get bored, because that's the way I kind of engineered it. I'm a homebody, dude. I like being at home. It's fine. So it's all good. All right. So that takes care of this week's Hey is Stupid. All right. We got to Jimbo's got to stop having fucking Tourette's, apparently. We have to dive into some nerdy shit. There, I got it out. I really hate to be the guy that does this, because I wanted to be really excited for this, because this particular IP is one that I have loved for my entire life. And when I saw this, underwhelmed isn't a big enough word. Like, there needs to be something below that where I was like, what? Like, after I'm done watching this, like, if you had not told me that this trailer was this IP, I would have never, gun to my head, never connected those dots. And that's kind of a bad sign when the fans of the show don't recognize it. That's bad.
Yeah, that's rule number one in entertainment. If you confuse them, you lose them.
Yes. So, all right, what am I talking about? So the trailer for the much long in development, they've been developing this thing for like 3 years. The Green Lanterns series that apparently is going to be on HBO Max. That's run by James Gunn. Guys, I'm really in favor of them firing James Gunn from DCU like quick. He's really good at Marvel stuff, but he sucks at DC stuff. I'm just going to say it. Like, Peacemaker was okay. The Suicide Squad was okay. Like, you know, the second one, it was entertaining. Like, you know, they didn't suck. They were funny. That's not the guy that should be handling Green Lantern, because there's nothing fucking funny about that. Not really. Like, maybe a little bit of jokes here and there, but it's like Green Lantern's a cop show, dude. Like, that's really what it should be. It's basically a sci-fi cop show set in space. That's the pitch, because they're all cops. So it's, you know, there's a few cops that are from like Earth sector, but they're guys from this galaxy, this planet, etc., and they all kind of coexist as like this intergalactic police force.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep what I just said in mind about the pitch of what the ethos of the property is while we watch this trailer, and you tell me if you get any of those fucking vibes when you watch it. Here we go.
Due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
What are they training in if he's not wearing the fucking ring? Like, what the fuck, dude? That's like gun training when there's no gun.
All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you. Something is off here. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's not in space. That's what's off.
This is my town. You're a big shot. Noted. But stay the fuck out of my way.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she hates them.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green.
Does that look anything like a Green Lantern outfit to you? It's fucking brown. Like, am I missing something here? What? Other than the logo, I would never know that's a Green Lantern suit. Plus, why? I'll save my commentary for the end.
Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired. And your time is up.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Have you ever talked with the other Lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
I mean, that part's true. One of them is actually a squirrel.
Right.
So Frankie has a question. So wasn't Green Lantern? I'll put it on screen. So wasn't Green Lantern a white guy first, and they made him black in the Justice League? No, those are two different characters. So the only part of this that I would have recognized from the actual Green Lantern mythos is the characters' names: Hal Jordan and John Stewart. They are both Green Lanterns. There are 4 Earth Green Lanterns, Sector 2814. I'm going to scare all the chicks off right now. So Earth Sector is Sector 2814. There are 4 human Earthling Green Lanterns: Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and Kyle Rayner. They're all very different people. Hal Jordan is the original human Green Lantern. He was the first, where his predecessor basically crash landed on Earth, and the ring essentially chooses its next wearer. So since it was essentially limited by the people on Earth, it chose Hal Jordan as the most qualified candidate. Hal is a former military test pilot, so Air Force guy. And Mr. Pingan brings up a good point. It's like, yeah, shouldn't Lantern be for global or higher level threats? Yeah, that's my first big problem with this. They're investigating a murder in some fucking 2-horse backwood hick town. A Green Lantern would not be concerned by that at all because they're busy protecting the fucking planet. They're not worried about an individual unless the guy murdering is like some type of fucking space pirate or something that's hiding out on Earth. Okay, then maybe, but he's flying without the suit. There's no green aura around him. The suit is an actual thing he has to put on instead of it being energy based, where he literally just basically constructs it with the ring and it becomes like an aura around him, which is all the other all the other Green Lanterns operate. He's training John Stewart, but he's not training him with the ring. You're never supposed to be without your ring when you're a Green Lantern. That's like fucking rule 1. Like your ring is literally your life source. It is the source of all your power. It translates things for you. So that's another thing. So it's like, how am I supposed to speak to them all? Well, good thing you have this like magical fucking supercomputer on your finger that happens to be a fucking translator, Hal, that works all the time. Like, think about this. He's an intergalactic police officer and he's going to other planets all the time, interfacing with different species that have different languages. How the fuck would a guy do that if he doesn't speak the language? Is he supposed to speak like 1,000 languages? No, the ring fucking translates for him, both incoming and outgoing. Duh. Like, I just want to ask James Gunn, like, have you ever fucking read a Green Lantern comic book? Like, any of them? Because if you did, and this is what came out of your fucking brain, we read 2 very different comic books.
Yeah. Green Lantern is one of those characters that in the DC universe, it's just so beloved. Mm-hmm. People love Green Lantern. And it's a great character. It's a great premise. They basically have unlimited powers with the ring, right? They can create and kind of do anything that they want or they need. So, you're not pigeonholed into, this set of 4 things that the hero can do. They can do anything. So possibilities are endless. And this is what they chose. I think, especially when it comes to superhero movies now, in 1989, superhero movies were awesome when they were dark and gritty and had that goth aesthetic, but not anymore, right? Like, no. I want to see a Green Lantern suit that looks green like the suit, you know what I mean? Not like this dark green with the browns and blacks and stuff. Like, make it so when you see this character, you know who the fuck it is. And I also don't like that they don't even really show what the ring does in the trailer, because you need you need like what if like Hal Jordan flies out of that car and and John throws on the ring and he jumps out of the car and he's like grappling hook and it does the thing, right? And then you're like, oh, because somebody that doesn't know is going to go, oh, that's what the ring does. That's why they're hubbubbing about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a really big DC universe guy. They just don't do it for me like the Marvel movies do. It's just not because Marvel at least has the sense to go, our fan base wants this, and then they give it to you. They give you all the cool suits and it's just
I don't understand this.
Like, you would think a franchise as big as Green Lantern would have say more brand reach in like Lego, right? But they've only released like 1 or 2 Green Lantern Lego sets, which is why the Hal Jordan minifigure is like a $30 minifigure. Because they keep botching it. And it's not because they botched the Ryan Reynolds one. Like, this is not hard to make a superhero movie. And when you constantly are fucking it up, and DC seems like they fuck it up a lot more than Marvel, that's why you don't have the fan base that Marvel has. Superman and Batman, they're just as popular as some of the Marvel characters.
Of course they are.
Important to pop culture as some of the Marvel characters. But because you keep fucking up these movies and you outthink yourself when you're making these, that's why this shit's gonna fail. And I'm gonna watch this, you know what I mean? Just because, but my expectations are super low.
I'm giving it 1 episode only because I have HBO Max already, and I'm just gonna be like, there better be at least one construct in the fucking first episode, because if not, guys, that's what we're fucking here for. We're here to see Green Lanterns build fucking constructs with their rings, because that's what they do. That is literally what they do. That is how they fucking problem solve. Okay? Like, it's Frankie asks, I was always confusing. You're talking about Star Sapphire? Yes. Hal Jordan and Star Sapphire were married. That's correct. I don't understand this. And the amount of coping that I've seen, just on the comments that I've seen on social media reacting to this trailer, where people are just like, dude, like, you know, it's not going to be great for a little bit, but it's going to get better, I promise. It's like, dude, why are you okay with that? Why shouldn't you be expecting that it be great out of the fucking gate? Like, what is this coping shit?
Exactly. It's going to be I don't want it to be a slow burn. I want it to be great. The last 10 times they've done slow burns, it's failed, and it's insanity. They keep doing the same thing over and over and not changing. Like, first scene, like, we need to have like that real quick backstory about, the Green Lantern, just so everybody that doesn't know knows what's going on. And then boom, rings everywhere. Like, I want to see the planet with all the Green Lanterns, and like you got to set this up, right? You got to hook people in, and you don't do that with a slow burn.
It's called Oa, by the way, sir. That's the Green Lantern planet.
Thank you,
ladies, please. I'm sorry. Like,
Jimbo's gotta beat him off with a stick.
Yes, I didn't mean to scare him off, but yeah, I saw this, man, and I just couldn't believe it, because the words dark and gritty do not enter my brain when I think of Green Lantern at all. It's positive, bright, colorful, uplifting. It's sci-fi more than anything else. Like, it's more Star Trek than it is True Detective. Yeah. Like, I'm not asking them to make like a Green Lantern show like Star Trek. I'm just saying it's a lot closer to that than it is True Detective, where it's like every other scene should be someone doing fucking constructs with their ring and shit. Like, if they really wanted to do something great, where like if the premise of the show is Hal Jordan training John Stewart, okay, I don't have a problem with that in general. That's fine. Like, that's cool. But what you should be showing, like what the fans would want to see, is like Hal teaching him to do constructs, and you should be seeing the different ways that both of them solve the same problem. Because the whole point of being a Green Lantern is you're limited by your willpower, essentially. Your will is essentially your ability to create constructs. And the best way that was explained was Green Lantern Rebirth. And I actually met the guy who wrote this, Jeff Johns. I have all of my rebirths autographed by him, and I got to fucking shake his hand and thank him for bringing back Hal Jordan. I was like, seriously, bro, thank you for doing this. And he was like, Jimbo's my pleasure, man. Believe me. He's like, you're welcome, but I had so much fun doing this. No thanks necessary. And inside of that, like, all the 4 human Green Lanterns come together to basically take out Parallax. And there's a scene where they're fighting him in space, plus Kilowog, actually. So 5 Green Lanterns. And Hal is looking at each Green Lantern, and he's commenting on how they approach things differently. Like, John Stewart is an engineer, so he puts things together like an engineer would. Like, when he's making his constructs, you can see like the individual bolts and nuts and screws like coming together on things, because he thinks of things like an engineer. Kyle Rayner is an artist. He's a fucking college student. So of course, to him, this is like a fucking canvas, and he's using the ring as his paintbrush, and he's basically just making art. Gaia Gardner is a fucking big mouth who's just basically pure attitude. Like, he's like the punk rock Green Lantern, like finger in the air and shit, where it's just his attitude becomes his will. And at the same time, he mentions something that never even occurred to me before this, but now that he said this, it's even stranger to me. Kilowog is the only Green Lantern whose ring makes noise when he uses it. So when he does like a power blast with his ring, his is the only one that makes a sound. The rest of them are silent. And I'm just like, okay, that's actually really weird now that I think about it. So they're having like these big space battles, and it's like totally quiet unless Kilowog is there. But apparently when Kilowog does it, he's like, it sounds like a 44 Magnum, where it's like going off when he does it. I'm like, that's cool and strange at the same time. I don't know. It's like I can't imagine having fights like this with everything in the vacuum of space is just totally fucking silent, even though scientifically that does make sense because if there's no air, there can't be any noise because sound is air pressure, like moving through the space. So I'm like, stop that though. That doesn't make sense. All right. In a movie, I want to hear fucking sound. All right. I don't want it to be fucking quiet because that's weird. This isn't Interstellar. It's a fucking Green Lantern movie. So I am not really excited at all for this, guys, and I take no pride in fucking saying that. Like, I love the Marvel stuff, but I love DC stuff too, man. I grew up in a Superman and Batman household. Like, they were my first two superheroes. I want this to be good. I want this to succeed, but I think even if we got to season 2, it's just like they're already doing this totally backwards, where it's like if you want the first episode to be them on Earth, where he's just training Jon Stewart in the basic mechanics of like how to be a Green Lantern, sure. After that, he should be on Oa being trained by Kilowog and the other Green Lanterns on actually how to use his ring. So he's not basically confined by the rules of Earth. He can go into, I mean, I'm just going to say it, dude. The fucking Ryan Reynolds movie got it more correct than this, and that movie sucks. Like, he gets the ring and he gets pulled to fucking Oa, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And they explain to him, you're a Green Lantern. I mean, it's got the guys doing the fucking oath and everything. I'm like, bro, like, let's fucking go. Like, we're doing it right. The movie was fucking terrible, but they at least hit the basic benchmarks of what how a Green Lantern story should go. And I actually got to ask Jeff Johns his pitch when he was running. He eventually went on to like run DC Comics, but I got to ask him at a convention when he was speaking to an audience. I was like, okay, so you're writing Green Lantern right now. If you could do a Green Lantern movie, give me the key scene. What would it be like? And he's like, that's easy. He's like, it would basically be like the Mos Eisley Cantina scene in Star Wars, where instead of Luke, it's Hal, and he's the new guy basically showing up. And instead of it being like a hive of scum and villainy, it's a bunch of cops, like the other Green Lanterns, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy from this planet, this guy from this planet is like, and they're all making fun of him, like, oh, there he is, the fucking Earthling. God, they're all rolling their eyes because they look down at Earth because we're unsophisticated and everything. Oh, he's fucking American too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, double guy. Whammy.
Yeah, like that's, and I heard that. I was like, bro, that is the pitch. Like that, this dude gets it. Like that is what it should be. This is the complete opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
So fire James Gunn, please. Like Paramount is buying Warner Brothers. That would be the first thing that I would do if I were, what's his name, running Paramount. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. We're actually going to go give the fans what they want. Like, we're going to make a Superman movie where he's not a bitch and he's like actually Superman. Like, we're not going to make like everything be like a darkly comic joke when it doesn't need to be. Like, some things can just be positive. Okay. Like there's plenty of dark shit that you can do in DC. Batman, sure. Batman should be dark. Yes. Superman should not be dark at all. It shouldn't be a fucking fart joke like every 3 seconds. It's fucking Superman, dude. It should be like the definition of like uplifting. It should give you hope when you watch it. I digress, but we won't go too far down the comic rabbit hole. All right, Mr. Penguin knows what the fuck is up. See, Rookie's First Date. Yeah, like that would be the fucking show.
Yeah, essentially.
On Hal Jordan getting fucking hazed, because that's basically what happened. Like he's the new guy, and they're just, no one respects him, and he's got to prove that like Earthlings can still fucking do it. Like, yeah, all right, don't underestimate us. But that notwithstanding. All right, so that's probably the nerdiest thing we're going to talk about tonight. We do have some other semi-nerdy shit, but let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Okay. You know what? I'll let you pick this, Chris. Should we do... You want to do political, or you want to do our other video game topic for tonight? I'll let you pick. We're going to do both, but what order do you want to do them in?
Yeah, let's do the other video game topic, because I like that one.
Let's do that. All right, let me get some shared screen going. We actually technically have two. One is kind of a big announcement, and one is kind of a thing that came in at the last minute. But I just got to share my screen real quick. Okay. So we got an announcement from the camp that is Microsoft. And here we go. All right. So I'm going to play you guys the short show, and then we're going to get into it here. That's really it. So, like this concludes our stream apparently. Let me stop sharing and bring this back so we can actually see. Excuse me a second. Come on, screen. Work. Hang on a minute. There we go. All right, let me bring it back. Let me get Chris in here. Yeah, every time I do a fucking screen share, this thing like freaks out. And it's really annoying. It's not the one. This is not the load I'm looking for.
Hi, chat.
Yes. Hi, chat. You keep people fix this. Okay, there we go. So Project Helix is apparently the code name for the next Xbox. We don't have a ton of details yet, other than I think AMD is making the processor for them. We do have a little bit of information on the GPU. They're definitely bringing the heat on this one. We don't have any official numbers yet, but the rumor is this is going to be hovering around the $1,000 mark. Like they're really building the living shit out of this thing. What's that? What's up?
Yeah.
Chris?
So I went a little bit down the rabbit hole on this one because I don't really do a lot of Xbox. I'm sort of like a fringe Xbox person. So I'm like, okay. Basically, I took inventory mentally and I said, where are we at right now in gaming? Switch 2, not so great so far, kind of lackluster. Now Nintendo's trying to sue, I guess, over tariffs or something. I saw that. The Sony PlayStation 5, I'm a PlayStation guy, but again, the console's not really setting the world on fire, and I don't feel, most people don't feel that it's a good value proposition, what you're paying for what you're getting kind of thing. And here comes this brand new Xbox. So I saw that, 10-second gimmick that you sent, earlier when we were talking. So I started watching some other people talking about it, some other trailers for it. So the reason that this is going to be so expensive, now this is allegedly rumors, right, is that it is going to be able to play all of your Xbox games.
I hope that's true.
Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series X.
Good.
In addition to that, it will have Microsoft Windows interface. So it will also act as a PC.
Okay.
In addition to that, apparently, allegedly, it will also have connectivity or some type of thing in it that will allow you to play Steam games.
That I have heard. Yes.
So for $1,000, now that's a lot of money.
But that's a pretty good
for
bargain.
what you're getting, when we talk about value proposition,
Sure.
you could essentially buy this console. I could sell my Xbox, my Xbox 360s, my Xbox One. I could sell those 4 consoles, to help maybe recoup the cost of, this console. So it's Xbox's thing, man. Internet connectivity, online play, all of that stuff. And I was taking inventory. Think about the Xbox 360, man. We had like little chat pads and network adapters, and I had a DVD player and, upscalers and external hard drive. Now we don't have those problems. No, we don't have any of those problems. It is literally all Microsoft has achieved what they wanted to do. A video game console PC all-in-one combo that they can sell you basically as an all-in-one entertainment unit. And they've done it. And they're going to be the first to market with it as well.
Yeah. Okay. I don't disagree with any of that. And I honestly hope all of that is true. To be perfectly honest, Chris, I would be totally fine if it were just like Xbox One Series X backwards compatible. I would consider that alone a win for one simple reason. And I know I'm going to be totally beating a dead horse on this, but that's okay. I'm going to beat the fucking dead horse. I, as a collector, love the fact that because Capcom keeps remaking / redoing Resident Evil games, that if they continue on the current trajectory, I will have the entire Resident Evil franchise on one console. I love that because then I can show that to my kid one day and be like, Here's the one console you need. Here's every Resident Evil game ever made. Like all the main timeline stuff. Like not Dead Aim, not fucking Gaiden, like none of the offshoot bullshit crap that isn't canon. This is basically the saga of Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, etc. This is the beginning, middle, and end of the fucking story that you can play in order, either release order or chronological order, and you can get the story. It's like handing him like a complete Blu-ray set of like my favorite television show or something and be like, watch this. So I, as a collector, love that. And the more I thought about this, again, we don't have a release date for Project Helix. I could give you guys a guess as far as when I think it's going to be out. At the earliest, and this is probably shooting for the moon, late 2027 is probably going to be the absolute soonest. Realistically, probably 2028. But let's say I'm right. Let's say it is shoot for the moon. Let's say Microsoft pulls it off. Like, let's say they've been working on this in private and the thing is actually already beta testing. They're just kind of roughing out the edges and smoothing out the edges, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the reason I want that is like, okay, so the next Resident Evil game is the remake of Code Veronica. That is confirmed for 2027. It's probably going to be early 2027. The one after that is Resident Evil 0, the remake, which is 2028. And then apparently after that, they're remaking part 1. That just got leaked recently. So we've got 2027, 2028, and 2029, and 2030 will probably be Resident Evil 10. So we've got the next 4 years basically planned out, and then they could still remake part 5 and part 6. So Code Veronica will definitely be on Series X because the new console won't be out by then. But Resident Evil 0 could very possibly be released on the Helix system, given the timeline, because that'll be 2028. That's very doable as far as the release of this. It would really fucking irritate me if that like bifurcation like kind of fucked up my vibe as far as collecting these games. Like that's why I was saying, like, even if they only went like 1.5 gens back, and we'll say everything from Xbox One, meaning the first release in 15 or whatever it was, 2013, that forward is like day one backwards compatible. For me, that would be like win, because that is a huge part of my collection. Now, am I going to argue with them if they bring in like OG Xbox and Xbox 360? No. But me personally, if I'm going to play OG Xbox, I want to play it on a tube. That's why I have the setup that I do. The Xbox 360, I can make a concession for that because those games were at least high definition, meaning they don't look like fucking doo-doo on a high-end 4K set. Like shit that's in 480p, or even the games that the handful of Xbox games that were released that supported 720p, and there's only a few, they still look like shit on a 4K because like the upscaling, it just doesn't translate. Like going from 720p to like 1080p, it looks okay. Like you can't really tell the difference. It's a very small jump, but like you're like septupling the fucking resolution between 720p and 4K, since 4K is 4 times the resolution of 1080p. It doesn't translate that well. So if you're going to play an older game, I mean, unless they're going to do some magic with fucking AI upscaling, and dude, maybe they are. This is Microsoft. Maybe I've got this totally wrong. Maybe they're just going to impress the shit out of even edgelords like me on this. And if they do, great. But I'm still going to have my Xbox hooked up to a fucking tube here in the lounge. I'm that guy. It's like, I'm the guy with the fucking Beatles album that isn't interested in the MP3, that isn't interested in the CD, that I've got the original record, I've got it hooked up to my hi-fi, and that's the way I want to listen to it. Like, I'm that guy. I'm like the purist when it comes to that shit.
For sure. And I think most of us that are retro gamers and retro game collectors are, but my kids don't care. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
they would rather have that console and then be able to do all of it on one.
I'm with you on that one, dude.
But I like this idea. I like where they're going. I have to kind of wait to see how this pans out, because you know, when the PS3 tried to do PS1, PS2, that system wasn't built very well. I had some problems with the PS2 portion of it. So I just hope that this doesn't happen to this Xbox, because this is like I said, this is what Microsoft has wanted from the beginning.
The singular
Marky
system.
Shark.
That's why it was called Xbox One. That was the reason for the name. It was supposed to be one system for your living room. like the nucleus, essentially. So, again, Chris, I'm not poo-pooing this. I know it sounds like I am, but I'm not. I hope they do it. Like,
I'm
would
excited
I utilize
about
it?
but you just got to kind of wait for more information. You know
Yes.
what I mean? To kind of figure out, because you get all excited about these rumors and what it can do, and and you're like, wow, that's some impressive shit. And then by the time it comes out, it's like, well, we can only really do about half of that.
Facts.
It's,
I mean, to be perfectly honest, guys, my only ask, if I could, we'll talk about the new Xbox CEO, because that's the other half of this equation. My only ask, if I could sit down and talk to her, is like, all right, if you're going to do this, I only have one thing that is a hard stop for me. Make the damn machine have a physical drive. Period. And if she asks why, because I don't lease games. That's why. I own them. I'm a collector. Like what Jay Leno does with cars, that's what I do with video games on a much smaller scale. But like, he doesn't lease his shit. He owns them. And that's what I like. I want to own my game. I don't want anyone to be able to take it away from me unless they're stupid enough to come in my house and try and steal it, in which case I will shoot your ass if you try and take my games. I will pick my stuff over you every time. So that being said, I definitely have some reservations about the new CEO of Xbox Division. If there is a complete opposite of Phil Spencer, she would definitely be it. For the record, guys, I don't agree with everything Phil Spencer said or did. I agree with a lot of it. I don't agree with all of his positions and all of his decisions that he made when he was the head of Xbox. But I will say this, dude, Phil Spencer's one of us. Period. How do I know that? Because when he's being interviewed, like to talk about Xbox, and they're asking him, like, so, like, what games are you playing now? Does he mention an Xbox game? Yeah. You know what else he mentions? Super Mario Kart. He mentions one of his fucking competitors, like the new Super Mario Kart game that at the time had come out on the Switch. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm playing right now. I'm like, dude, he's one of us. Like, seriously, this guy's a fucking gamer. He may not be a retro gamer, but he is a gamer. That's the exact type of person that I want to be in charge of Xbox. I want one of us. I don't get the impression that the new woman who is in charge of Xbox has ever played a video game. And I'm basing that on her background. She has absolutely no experience in anything related to video games. She comes from an AI background. That in itself is a red fucking flag to me. Like the way that COD got fucking flamed for them being lazy and using AI to fucking build textures and crap, and people caught like the seams and this shit where they're just like, what the fuck is this? No one designed this. Looks like an AI slop. And it turns out that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So I don't have a great feeling about this. I don't. She's responded to some people, some regular people on Twitter who've asked her about things, when she said, like, this is what I'm going to do. And one of the guys was like, okay, let me tell you what most of us probably want. We want Xbox exclusives to be only on Xbox. Like, if you want to put Call of Duty on all the fucking consoles, that's fine, because that was a multi-platform thing before. But it shouldn't be on all the consoles? Halo, Gears of War, things like that. Those are what make Xbox special. So that's the reason that we've invested in this brand for the last nearly 30 years at this point, is because the stuff that they did was special. Sony did special stuff too. Nintendo does special stuff too. Like, I don't want to see Mario Kart on an Xbox. I want to see it on Nintendo's system. I want them controlling it because they know what they're doing with it. I want Sony to be Sony, Microsoft to be Microsoft, and Nintendo to be Nintendo. I want them to all keep doing what they're doing because they're all really great at what they do. So, to be fair, she did respond to that. Her response was like, I hear you. Now, I hope it wasn't fucking PR fluff, and I hope she actually meant it. Like, we get it. Like, we're working on it. Give us some space here. Again, if they want to make the Activision, Blizzard, that kind of stuff like multi-platform so they can make some money off of Sony players and stuff, dude, fine. Like, if that was the move so they could bring in some extra cash to basically fund what they're going to do with the Xbox stuff, fine. I don't have a problem with that, dude. Let the PlayStation dorks play fucking COD. I don't give a shit. That's fine. But, dude, the fact that a Gears of War game, granted it's only the first one, is on PlayStation, I'm like, no. That is a fucking Xbox game. Period. The same way that God of War is a PlayStation game. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want those things commingling. But what do you think?
I love I love that they're exclusives.
Yeah.
It's what makes those consoles those consoles. I mean, could you imagine if they put Last of Us on fucking Nintendo Switch or some bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, it would be horrible. Or like, if racing games are racing games, but I don't want to see Forza on PlayStation. I like playing it on my Xbox.
Because they have Gran Turismo. They don't need it.
Well,
So-
yeah, and then like Need for Speed's multi-plat, but it's so
we have
those
enough multi-platform. We have
those
enough
great
of that.
arcade racers. But it's like, Microsoft really needs to get their shit together with these fucking Rare games. You've had this library of games since what, like 2005 or something, and you really haven't done jack shit with them. And
Agreed.
people will argue with me, well, they made Perfect Dark Zero and Banjo Nuts and Bolts, and shut the fuck up with that shit.
And
You know what I mean?
they
Like, come
canceled
on.
the new Perfect Dark game. So
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, so what?
Yeah.
What have you done in the last 5 years? That's my question. Whatever you did 10 years ago, we don't give a fuck. What have you done the last 5 years? Nothing.
Yeah, like if you own all those, if you own Conkers and Grab by the Ghoulies and Jet Force Gemini and Battletoads, and you're not doing anything, then that's on you. But anyway, we're getting off into the weeds here. But yeah, this console, man, I'm really excited about it, and
Me too.
excited to see the text and specs and what we're actually getting here. But you're right, it has to have a disk drive. But also with the disk drive, those are moving parts and they wear out and they go bad. And so I guess we'll see.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't want them to do this, but if they charge, let's say they ask for an extra $100 for the disk drive, no problem. Like, seriously, like if that's the barrier for entry, if I'm spending a G, you don't think I'm going to spend 1,100?
Right.
So I can have like games? No, I don't give a shit. Just give me the option.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will pay for it. I'm not asking you to lose money. Just give me the choice. That's all I'm asking for. Seriously. I hope she doesn't fuck that up. Because goddamn. All right. You're right. We're getting into the weeds. All right. Let's jump into some politics, ladies and gentlemen. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, we nearly had a repeat offender here on excuse me. on Hey Stupid. All right, this was nearly the candidate for this week's Hey Stupid, but we picked on her pretty fucking hard, and like to the point where I had to make our first Jimbo goes off video, like the first time like Jimbo is actually started shouting into the fucking microphone just because I was angry about this. So I was like, well, we can back off her for Hey Stupid. Plus Jasmine Crockett's way easier target this week.
Oh yeah, she's low hanging fruit for sure.
She is. So we'll bring it back to dear old Abby Spamberger, the unfortunate governor of my home state of Virginia, who I just really hope there's some type of universal accident or something that happens to her. And I'm not talking about an assassination, guys. I'm not talking about political violence. No, I'm seriously not. No, because like that's too good for her. Like, you know what I would want if I could control like the chaos of the universe? That she'd be in like a boating accident caused by a meteorite or something like that. Some type of completely out of left field thing where she's on a little boat and a fucking meteorite comes by and takes out the boat. Because A, that's funny as shit. And B, that would be a net positive. This woman's fucking evil, dude. So what are we talking about here? Okay. So we've got a Sierra Leone national that is accused with very sufficient evidence. We're talking very clear video evidence of allegedly stabbing a 41-year-old Fredericksburg mother, Stephanie Minter, to death at a bus stop last month. Guys, this guy has been in jail like fucking 30 times. Like, I'm not even being funny. And how does Abigail Spanberger factor into this? She's refusing to turn him over to ICE without a judicial warrant. Okay. Here's the problem with that, guys. This is an immigration issue. The judicial branch has absolutely no control, nor any business getting involved in that, as that is handled by the executive office, meaning the president. That is handled by the immigration courts, which is under the purview of Department of Justice, i.e. the President of the United States. So getting a judicial warrant, like you're basically asking for blood from a stone on that. You're asking for something that is completely unrelated to what you're talking about. That's a stupid fucking request. And she used to be a Fed, so I know she knows that. I know that she knows that that's how it works. Like, I maybe not Chris, but I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt that she probably understands that that's how it works. At least she should understand that, as it would have been her job to understand.
Yeah, there it is.
So, in a perfect world, here, I'll revise. In a perfect world, if she were good at her job, she would understand the division of powers and the limitations set on each one. This being, the judicial branch has absolutely no control over immigration. Period. That's the immigration courts. So the fact that she's hiding behind that and basically refusing to turn over this piece of shit who has no business being here and who just executed a mother who committed the crime of sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bus and fucking stabbed her to death in broad daylight, I might add. And this guy could be very easily let out on bail. How do I know that? I don't know, because he's been in and out of jail 30 times. And she claimed from the beginning while she was running, like, I think that, illegal criminal aliens should be removed. Well, apparently that was all talk, dude.
Yep.
Because here we are. First time she's tested. She's been in office, 2 months now?
Yeah.
Here we are. She's being tested. She's got
Again.
her own district attorney is just like, yeah, we can home run this fucking case. Like, we've got what we need to put this guy away. So, first of all, why wouldn't you just let ICE handle this just to get this off the docket? Like, this is one less thing your state has to do. The feds are like, we will take him and we will handle this. Period. Like, right now. And you would think as a governor, you'd be like, well, sure. Like, I don't have to spend any taxpayer money on this. Yeah, go do your thing, Trump. See ya. Let us know if you need anything. I would be doing that. Just because if the feds want to do something, think of the resources they have, let them, turn them loose. But what do you think on this, Chris?
Yeah, that was the first point that I was going to make, is how tone deaf can you be? Because to liberals and Democrats, free just means free. It just magically manifests out of nowhere and nobody gets charged for anything. It is costing the taxpayers money to have that person in jail every day. So why wouldn't you just have the federal government come down and say, take this problem away from us? The other thing, when we're talking about like a warrant, right? So people get hung up on this because they don't really understand how justice systems work, right? They think they do because they watched 3 videos on YouTube last week, so they're in a Facebook post, so they're experts. But what is this? This is where they get caught up. The Fourth Amendment, right? The right of the people to be secure in their persons, papers, houses, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall be issued without being based upon probable cause, sworn to by oath or affirmation, signed by a judge or magistrate, particularly naming the person or property to be seized. So they think that you need a warrant for everything. If I see at a bus stop a man punch a woman in the face, do I have to say everybody has to stay right here? I have to go get a warrant to make an arrest? No, it's called an on-view arrest. This guy is in their jail facility. ICE knows that he's there. We are going to do an on-view arrest, and we are going to take custody of this person. We'll fill out the paperwork, custody transfer, bring him over. We were told in the state of Ohio that we are not to enforce ICE warrants because they are administrative in nature. All warrants have a paper trail and are technically administrative in nature. So that governor is saying you need a warrant. Here we're saying if they have a warrant, then don't do it. Don't, arrest on an ICE. So really what Big Daddy Donald needs to do is say, listen, my ICE agents are going to do whatever the fuck they want. If Department of Homeland Security wants to come in your jail and take out a criminal immigrant, that's what we're going to do. And then anybody that doesn't fucking comply, he needs to bring the hammer down on them.
Yeah, arrest them for obstruction.
This is getting ridiculous. And these people on fucking Facebook that are like, ICE has killed 5 people. Well, okay, let's look at Obama. They have 55 people died. But forget that. There have been 1,700 Americans that have died by criminal immigrants who shouldn't even been in this country in the first fucking place in the last 6 years. So who's murdering who at a higher rate? ICE is killing people that are non-complying and throwing shit at them while they're trying to do their job, or criminal immigrants stabbing predominantly women and raping children and killing children, our children, predominantly white children and white women. And it's got to stop. I'm for labeling them as enemies of the state and terrorist peoples. Put bounties on them. Put a website up. Go get them American citizenry, and we will end this. We'll end this in about 3 months.
Dude, I would love for that to be my new job. Like, seriously. Dude, if they do that, Chris, take a sabbatical from your job and let's go be like rogue cops, bro.
Yeah, we'll be
let's
like, can we have a theme song like Dog the Bounty Hunter? You know,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
You know, then we'll arrest them. And then
dude, we could have our own show.
We'll get in the back of the car with them and we'll talk to them about God and stuff. It'll be amazing.
Dude.
But this shit's got to stop. And these tone deaf politicians, she should know better if she was an attorney and worked in the Department of Justice. That's not how this shit works. Okay. Person murdered somebody, for God's sake.
In broad daylight.
It's not like you're trying to protect a criminal immigrant that stole a Snickers bar or something like that. You know what I mean? Like this is a capital offense.
This is and should be punishable by death. It's the fact that she's obstructing this at all. No, I'm with you. The tolerance from the Trump administration needs to be at 0 at this point, where he just needs to give her a warning. Be like, if you don't hand him over to us in 24 hours, we're walking into that jail and we're leaving with him. Yeah. And if you get in the way, you will be arrested for obstruction of justice and federal charges.
Because what's obstruction? Anytime you prohibit a law enforcement officer from performing any one of their law enforcement function. Mr. Pinion makes a comment here about holding judges responsible. You know, the Democrats will go on about police and qualified immunity. But when Tim Scott put a bill, Republican from like South Carolina or North Carolina, put a bill forward that would limit they all voted it down because they know that they would lose it. Judges and prosecutors, people don't know this. Judges and prosecutors enjoy what's called absolute immunity. If they let somebody loose and that person commits a crime, they can't be held responsible. Now, in general, it's like, oh, well, you got caught stealing a candy bar. You know, we're gonna put you on, your bond or whatever. Come back for your court date. That's totally a nonviolent offense. If that person goes out there and shoots somebody up, there's no way you could have known that. But when you have these offenders that are multiple-time violent offenders, and these activist judges, these liberal activist judges, let them go, they should be held accountable and they should be stripped of their absolute immunity because they could have reasonably known that this person was going to be a danger to society. So I agree with Mr. Pengen, and they should lose absolute immunity in situations like this for sure.
I completely agree. So that is the state of affairs, unfortunately, in my home state of Virginia. That governor needs to go, dude. They need to recall that chick and get her out. Like, she's a fucking liability at this point. So
didn't she run as like a progressive Democrat? And then the second she got in, she turned into communist mama.
I know. It's all smoke and mirrors with these people. It really is. I'm just going to say it, guys. The people that keep voting for Democrats and hoping for fucking moderation, you're fucking retarded. Like, seriously, like, how many more times do you have to be proven wrong before you realize maybe I should do something different? It's fucking stupid. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, which, by the way, is the definition of insanity. It's the same fucking thing every time with these people. Like, I know that not all of you who disagree with us are completely unreasonable people. I know that some of you disagree with this politically, but in the middle, we're basic rational people where we think murderers should be fucking put in jail and illegal alien murderers should be ousted the fuck out of this country. That is a rational position.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
My question is, like, why are you still fucking voting for this?
And my thing too is, Malcolm X said that the biggest threat to the black community is the white liberal.
Yeah.
And black people overwhelmingly vote for Democrat and liberal candidates.
Yes.
And my question to them is, listen, you vote how you want to vote. Like, nobody's going to tell you, whatever. But after hundreds of years of them coming in every 4 years, getting your vote, making promises and not delivering, at what point do you go, maybe we should try something different? If there was a restaurant down the street and they consistently delivered bad food, bad service, kept raising the prices, would you still go to that restaurant? Or would you try the other restaurant on the other side of the street that's a little bit more reasonably priced, maybe has, some better food options? You know what I mean? Like, at what point do you go, I'm the problem because I keep allowing this to happen in my community?
Yeah.
It's crazy town.
I agree. I don't know. I don't get it, guys. I really don't. So if any of you watching this are still in that camp, guys, leave a comment. Seriously. We're not gonna censor anybody. I don't do that on here. Even if I disagree with you, as long as you're being at least moderately respectful, you can make your comment. Let us know. Like, what is your justification for this? Like, even if you totally fucking hate everything the conservatives are and the Republicans, how can you by any reasonable measure tell me that the Democrats have done anything resembling the idea of a better job in any capacity? Like, how? By what metric are you basing that on? It's not the economy. It's not the border security. It's not people getting murdered by illegal aliens. It's not fucking foreign wars. It's certainly not the fucking Epstein files, since they had them for 4 years. So what? What is it that is driving you to vote for these people?
That is the $1 million question, because I don't want to. And again, you can have your opinion. You can totally disagree with us. But the thing is, like, don't say, well, Trump took my rights away, and then don't tell me what rights Trump took away.
Yeah, qualify your statement.
Don't tell me, well, the Epstein files. Okay, we get it. Epstein files are bad. All pedophiles, regardless of political affiliation or religious background, should be shot in the face. We don't like pedophiles. So yeah, we got you. So give me like a policy or something that happened to you in your community where the Democrats came in and they spent your tax dollars wisely and they weren't charged with corruption and they fixed your infrastructure and they upgraded your schools. You know what I mean? They lowered your gas prices or taxes or something. Like, they can't do it because it literally doesn't happen. And they what they've done is they've created 2 generations now of protesters and activists that literally don't have any fucking clue what they're protesting. You have feminists protesting against freeing Muslim women in Iran.
Yeah.
Think about how fucking brain dead that is.
Yeah.
These
the most
people
persecuted
will
women in the world
kill you and then marry off your children, and you're fighting for them. You're protesting for them. Absolutely fucking mental.
Yes. It's crazy. Like, when the people of the country that America is bombing are like screaming in the streets, like, thank you, we hate this guy. They're still protesting, saying America is bad. Where it's just like, are you just not paying attention here? Like, it's like, you can have your opinion about the U.S. actions in Iran. I have my opinions about it. But to say that it's unpopular with the people is there is simply not fucking true. Like, these people are evil, and the people of that country know it. Like, they hate them. Like, I don't really have an opinion on these people one way or the another, other than I think they're like terrible people. But it's like, do I ultimately give a fuck? No, because they're not part of my country, and Iran is not a threat to the United States. They're not. This is something that I've gotten into with a bunch of people on social media. Won't go off on too much of a tangent, guys. We'll wrap this one quick, but here's my position on the Iran conflict. Like, am I sad that the United States like took out a bunch of fucking theocratic despots in fucking Iran? No, I'm not. Like, do I think it's overall probably a net positive that those guys are like minus mortality? Yeah, it's probably a pretty good thing. But am I at all interested in pursuing this thing beyond this? No, for one simple reason. Iran is not a threat to the United States and never will be. And this fucking bullshit that I keep hearing in response to that, well, they could have a nuclear weapon. Okay, so do you have any idea how many nuclear weapons the United States has? We could destroy the entire fucking earth 5 times over and still have weapons left over. So one shithole fucking country on the other side of the planet gets one nuclear bomb and we're supposed to be shaking in our boots? We're not afraid of Russia, and they have almost as many nukes as us. I don't give a fuck about Iran. If they get a nuclear bomb, I double fucking dare you to use it. I triple dog dare you to use it on the United States, because I can tell you that any country that does that lets a nuke loose in the United States, Democrats, Republicans, everyone across the board, this will be 2001, 9/11 all over again. We will all be on the same page saying, nuke the shit out of that country. Wipe them off the face of the goddamn earth. You will get zero protest on that. And Iran, in spite of their fucking radical, stupid theocratic tyranny, they know that. They know that attacking the United States means they stop existing about 30 seconds after that happens. Russia knows it too. China knows it too. That's why no one's attacking the United States, because they know that only ends one way. They're going to be really fucked. We're probably going to be a little fucked, but they're going to be way more fucked.
Yeah,
the
they're going
theory
to
of mutual destruction.
They're going to be gone.
They
But, you
will
know,
be
I mean,
gone.
Iran does use Chinese anti-air and anti-missile defense systems, which we just sliced through, which is part of this operation for us, is to show China how terrible their shit is and how they can't do anything with it. That's part of the show. But the other part of this show, you know, and I heard it was sort of a conspiracy theory, is
Hit
that
me. I love
the
'em.
Israelis, the Jews, want us to get rid of Iran for them, so then they can start. They can start manipulating that region, break their agreements with us, and go, we're independent contractors. If we want to negotiate with Russia or China or, you know, South Africa or whoever, then we're going to do that. Although South Africa is not very happy with them right now. They're thinking about considering making Israel a terrorist state. But yeah, I just wish that we would only strike military targets. You know what I mean? Like, once you start getting into this, well, there was a school that was blown up, and it's like, well, whose missile was it? We start playing that game. Well, we know we know the perception. Right?
Yes.
That could have been a Hezbollah missile, could have been an Israeli missile, could have been, you know, another ally, I guess, missile.
I don't want to get into this. Do you, Chris? Like, do you want the United States involved in this? I don't.
I mean,
not any more than we have been already, at least.
Bloodthirsty tyrant me wants me just to wipe them all out. We take it over, control all the resources, right? Just like Risk.
Sure.
But I would rather, I hate to say this, I'd rather almost do the Biden where we provide the weaponry and then we let them, you know, Israel and all these, let them use it. That way, when shit goes bad, we have plausible deniability, and we can say, well, we just gave it to them. We didn't, you know.
As long as we're making money off of it. Like, we can sell them the weapons so we can get a couple of $1 billion out of it and, like, help pay down the debt. Like, if we're getting that, I mean, as I said at the beginning of this, guys, dude, if Iran was wiped off the face of the earth, my give a fuck would be zero. I don't care. I don't care if the entire Middle East stops existing. Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not even saying that to be mean, guys. I'm not wishing the innocent people there ill. I'm simply saying that, like, is my everyday life going to change because of that? No. And neither is any other Americans, because we have the privilege of not having to give a fuck.
Yeah, and my last thing here with Iran is we've heard this. They're developing a nuclear weapon for the last
like 20 years,
60 years almost, you know. Well, at least in 79 when Islam took over. So now we're almost 50 years in. And we're still
it took the United States 2 years to build it.
Trying to develop, and they got one. We only bombed one nuclear facility, so they got one facility for the last 50 years. So, no, I get it. Nuclear threat. They said if we get a nuclear weapon, we're going to use it against the United States. But even if you threaten people in real life, there has to be opportunity, intent, and capability. So if the intent is there, if I had a nuclear bomb, I would blow up Russia. Am I ever going to have the opportunity to own a nuclear bomb? No. So that threat's not really credible.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
It's stupid. It's a fucking.
But I don't like them. Wipe them out anyway. I don't give a fuck.
No, dude, we're on the same page. Not that I had any doubt that we would be. Like, our give a fuck about their existence is zero. But at the same time, do we want to spend American lives and American money on it? Not really, because we got enough fucking problems to deal with right now. But if we can make money off of it, I didn't think about that angle, Chris. That's good food for thought. If we can make some cash, like selling some ballistic missiles to Israel, sure, that's fine, as long as we're getting paid for it. And we're going to give them a considerable markup on it, because it's like, hey, man, it's a rush order, like $2 million handling fee on each of these missiles, man.
We'll just take it out of the $50 billion we give Israel annually.
Facts. So that's this podcast position on this, guys, where it's like, I don't really care about this fucking stupid war, but like boots on. No, guys, no.
Mr. Pinion, it'll be fine. We'll occupy it. We'll take it over. We'll get some McDonald's over there, some script clubs.
We'll give them a Starbucks. It's gonna be great.
About halfway through the war, we'll have Kid Rock come over and do a halftime show for us.
There we go. All right, so. All right, before we get into our final political issue, we've got one where we could potentially make our first, I say this tongue firmly planted in cheek, enemy on YouTube. Although that's not my objective with this. We're just taking the piss out of a fellow YouTuber. That would be Zaffy. You guys may have heard of him. This guy's got a pretty decent following, just about 300K subscribers. And for the record, Zaffy, if you're watching, bro, I don't hate you. I don't hate your channel. I've been a subscriber to you for a while. I love the deep dives that you do into the Epstein files. Like, I do. Like, it saves me some reading sometimes. Like, you show things that I originally didn't either notice or hear about, I want you to keep doing that. What I want you to stop doing is basically stop trying to be a martyr on YouTube. I guess if I had to qualify it as one statement, just like stop hyping this to be something that it isn't. The Epstein people are not coming for you. You know how I know that? Because you're reading the same fucking files that all of us have access to. If they're going to come for anybody, they're going to come for the federal government because they're the people releasing this shit. They're not going to come for individual people reading public information. You're not really unveiling anything. You're basically just doing the nerd work so that the rest of us don't have to fucking read as much because it's like 6 million documents or whatever. You're basically just doing the searching for us and then letting us read, which is important. Don't get me wrong. And I appreciate you doing it. But dude, no one's coming after you. And at the same time, and I'll demonstrate this here in the video, guys. Here's my real issue with this. Is it seems like every video he puts out, he claims almost every word that he says is going to demonetize his fucking channel. Now, I want to be clear about something. Chris and I talked about this beforehand. Are we throwing any shade on anybody on YouTube, making the living on YouTube? No, absolutely not, guys. If I could get paid to do Regeneration X for a living, would I do it in a fucking nanosecond, dude? Absolutely. I would love to do this for a living because I like doing this. It's fun. I'd love to get paid to do something I love doing because then it doesn't feel like you're working. So I would love to do that, but at the same time, we're not talking about like words like PDF file or grape or something like that. He's using the word like Epstein in Israel. It's like, okay, dude, if Epstein and Israel were demonetizing channels, half of the fucking channels on YouTube wouldn't be making a dime right now because that's like every other video that gets released every 8 seconds on YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. And Google likes making money. So I really don't think they're doing that because if you get demonetized, that means they're not making money either because you being demonetized means they can't sell ads on your channel. If they can't sell ads on your channel, they can't make money either. So that's a little antithetical when you go to it that way. But all right, guys, I'm going to share my screen for a second here and I'm going to show you a little bit what I'm talking about and you guys can make your own decision. We're not going to get into all of it, but we're going to get into some of it here. All right, so this is his latest vid. This is just about a day ago. So he's still doing the deep dive on Epstein. And again, Zaffy, dude, don't stop doing this. Like, I want you to keep doing this because I enjoy these videos. I just think you need to dial down the fucking rhetoric at the same time. But we'll listen to a little bit here.
And why won't the media tell us the truth? Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the video that does it. This could be the video that finally destroys my channel and demonetizes me forever.
We're not even 20 seconds in, and he's fucking starting on it. Where it's like, this is going to be the video that demonetizes my channel. Demonetizes my channel. For what?
Could you imagine? Guys, I'm going to show you some pickup videos today. Man, some of these pickups might get my channel demonetized.
Like, that's really what he's talking about here, bro. He's like leading on like he's about to show you like kid porn or something like that. Yeah, that's going to get you demonetized and get you banned. You're talking about something that is a matter of public fucking record, dude. He's not reading top secret documents. This has been declassified, for Christ's sake. Fucking slow down, bro.
You know, it's a risk telling the truth nowadays, apparently. And I'm not saying anything new. Everyone who knows this. Anyone who's read the files extensively has known this, okay? Jeffrey Epstein had a boss. Maybe he had a few bosses, but they all belong to the same category of opponent. Whenever you Google, who did Jeffrey Epstein work for? You have a lot of articles and different links saying stuff like this, like, did he work for Russia? Jeffrey Epstein maybe was a Russian spy. Guys, I do not mean to sound like I'm a defender of Russia or Vladimir Putin, but he did not work for Russia.
That is not a revelation, Zaffy. I just got to point that out. Not one fucking person thinks he works for Russia.
He worked for any country, it wasn't Russia. You just got to think about who you're not allowed to talk about, and that'll give you your answer. Before we get right into it.
Here, I'll say it for you, Zaffy. Israel, 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 Israel. Oh, God. Are they coming for me now? Chris, are they going to come for me? I'm not suicidal.
The Jews are not coming for you.
No, they're not coming. Okay. Oh, God. Thank God, man. Are they going to demonetize me for saying that? Oh, God, dude. I got to worry about that. Wait, I should put a mask on because I'm terrified of telling the truth, a matter of public record. Oh, fuck. Zaffy, you're being a bitch, dude. Seriously. You need to do fucking better than this shit. How do I know that? Because Chris and I are sitting here fucking talking about this. We are showing our faces. We both are parents. We both have families, and we both have things to lose. And yet here we are showing your video on our channel, and my fear is at zero, dude. About either being demonetized or anyone coming for me. I don't care. If your real goal that you claim your goal is to shine a light on this and out these degenerates, your word, not mine, but I do agree with that. If that is really your goal, you should not be concerned with your channel being demonetized. Because the more you talk about this, the more I keep thinking you wouldn't do this if you weren't being paid, which means that you're not really interested in outing these people. You're just interested in being paid to fucking talk about it. And for the record, I'm not throwing shade about that. That's fine if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but don't try and falsely elevate the level of danger about the information that you're going to give when there is literally zero danger in the information that you are about to
I know.
give. Like it's crazy. This is crazy town.
This
Crazy.
is, and like I'm not gonna beat the dead horse with the entire video here because it's kind of long. But what I just showed you is basically the beginning of like every Zaffy video like ever. Like they basically all start like that. They're all it's like what we were joking about with Iran getting a nuclear weapon. That's his channel. Like take out nuclear weapon and insert demonetization. It's the same fucking threat over and over and over again. Like I'm gonna get demonetized. Oh well, it fucking hasn't happened yet, Zaffy. And unless you're working probate and like you're pro bono, excuse me, and you're just here for fucking free, which I don't think you are because you keep fucking talking about it. Like Jesus Christ, dude. He's like the vegan of the Epstein files. Like how do you know someone's a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. It's like just they keep fucking telling you about it. Like, dude, enough. You're even if you're right and you get demonetized, so what? Who cares? What are you fucking hiding from? Like, I can't show my face. Here's my face, dude. Here's my face. I have almost 1,000 videos showing my face. I wouldn't be hard to find if someone were properly connected. Yet here I am completely fucking unafraid. I'm not hiding behind a mask. I'm not hiding behind anonymity. The same fucking shit that you're accusing these powerful elites of doing between hiding behind people, hiding behind anonymity. Congratulations, Zaffy. You are becoming your enemy. You are better than that, dude. You are obviously good at what you do. You're excuse me. You're good at doing deep dives. Oh God, the Jews poisoned me, Chris. Send it in.
They're coming for you.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm kidding, guys. It's just something stuck in my throat. Obviously, you're good at what you do, man. You're good at doing deep dives. You're a fucking super nerd as far as researching goes. I commend you on all of those things. Bro, stay in your fucking lane. Seriously. Just stick to what you're good at. Dial down the hype. I get it. It's driving up your views.
Yeah.
Hype generates views, and we're all out there after that almighty dollar, aren't we, buddy? No.
Yeah,
some of us
there's
aren't,
also a fine line with that too. You know what I mean?
It just gets to be too fucking much to me. Again, like I know it seems like I'm totally crapping on Zaffy here, man. I am a little bit. I'm honestly just trying to knock some goddamn sense into him where it's like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. Just cut the fucking drama, man. Like seriously. Like I appreciate the Deathstroke mask because he's one of my favorite DC villains. That shit is dope as shit. Like the mask at least is cool. But you don't, if the information is really as shocking as you say it is, it doesn't require any drama. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. If it's really that shocking, the information alone will drive your views. So don't worry about it. Okay? All right. Do better, buddy. All right. We got one last topic to get into. Since this is the perfect segue since we were kind of talking about the Epstein files here. This is definitely Epstein adjacent.
Yeah.
This is a glaring hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Let me share a screen here so everyone can see what we're talking about here. I'm going to bring up the actual bill so that you guys can see it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Here we go. We're being extra nerdy here. Okay, so the name of this bill, it's HR 4494, Congressional Accountability and Hush Fund Elimination Act. This was put forward by Nancy Mace. It was eventually actually voted down by both sides. What did they get? Like They only got like 20 upvotes, Chris. Like it was like hundreds or whatever of nays. Like 90 something % of Congress voted it down. Am I in the ballpark?
Yes, this was not good. Actually, give me 1 second. I will pull up that data real quick.
Do that. I'll talk about the bill while you're pulling it up. So essentially, so there was a 1995 act that I actually didn't know existed called the Congressional Accountability Act. So I'm just going to read off screen here. It says allows taxpayer funds to be used for paying settlements when members of Congress were accused of sexual harassment. Since then, $17 million of taxpayer money has been paid out in 264 individual cases. So the purpose of this bill essentially was to out the information involved in those payouts, meaning to essentially kind of Epstein file this shit, to make all of the paperwork involved in those 264 cases permissible to the public. So this basically got voted down by everyone, seemingly, which I think is absolutely fucking batshit insane that that's actually a thing. That could even happen, to be perfectly honest, to me is fucking crazy. But apparently that's what it did. Chris is going to get you guys the numbers here in a second. But
I put
basically the overwhelming majority. Oh, thank you, buddy. So 357 no, 65 yes, and 1 no vote. And that's both sides, guys. So Republicans and Democrats voted to seal this shit. So I'm going to take a stance right here, right now on this motherfucker. And I'm going to tell you very quickly in a sentence or two what my message to Congress would be. If you voted this down, I don't want to hear another goddamn word out of your mouth about the Epstein files, because you are just as complicit as everyone in those files, because you are choosing to conceal predatory behavior. Let's say that let's say 50%, let's shoot for the moon, Chris, 50% of these claims were bullshit. And this was just a former employee with an axe to grind, and they want to make a congressperson look bad. Sure. Okay, fine. If that's the case, though, what are you worried about? If it's really bullshit, what are you worried about?
So, two quick things. 78 Democrat women voted this down, and I have a list of names.
Oh, I can tell you, AOC is definitely on the list.
I am going to get a list of names of everyone that voted against this: Democrat, Republican, Independent, whoever.
Good.
This is absolute insanity. Because when it comes to the Epstein files, everybody wants transparency and accountability and all this stuff. But when you've got people in Congress, okay, and they are sexually harassing or inappropriately touching, depending on your state, that could be a sexual assault, a sexual battery, whatever.
Sure.
That are doing this on the taxpayer's dime, and you don't want the taxpayers to find out. That is such a breach of trust. It is such hypocrisy that you're going to get up here and do transparency, accountability. We have to stop these types of things from happening in the workplace. Agree with that. And then you are using taxpayer money to pay these women off.
Yeah.
And you're hiding behind a piece of legislation that allows this, that shouldn't be allowed in the first place. Also, don't bitch that Donald Trump paid anybody hush money.
Yeah, shut the fuck up about that.
This to happen.
Yeah.
If taxpayers' money, right? So there should be accountability. These are like public record transactions, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. If this happened in Congress, okay, in the building there at Capitol Hill, that's a public building. If they've used emails to try and cover this up, hey, just give that bitch 10 grand. That's a public record. My work emails are public. You can go to IT and request every email that I've ever sent at Columbus State, date and times and all that stuff, right, for the state of Ohio. So I don't understand why this is being concealed as much as it is, when a lot of it should be public. These victims should probably be able to come forward and say, Senator John Smith over there back in 2020 touched my butthole in his office. And obviously
his name was Frankie.
There's no like retaliation, but the fact that any of these women Congress people would vote this down is absolutely insane, in my opinion.
How much are they getting fucking paid to do it, man? Because
and then
why
using
else would you
our
vote?
money to pay for it.
That's just so crazy to me, dude. Like, how much money did it take to pay these women off to do this shit? Because why else would you do that? It's always about money.
Yeah. Well, and then these gross motherfuckers in there that can't keep their goddamn hands to themselves.
Yeah.
And really, there's no punishment for them. If I were a congressman, I'll just touch your titties and we'll give you a check. How about that? No one's ever gonna know. Get out.
They literally get off, and we pay for them to get off because it comes out of the federal budget, which means taxpayer money. So we are essentially paying to enable sexual harassment.
Exactly.
And they won't even tell us who we're paying for.
Right.
They're just, no, here's the bill, motherfucker. That's unconscionable. That really is. That is beyond the pale.
So we're clear. We call out Pam Bondi, we call out Trump, all this stuff.
Absolutely.
This is not a Democrat-Republican issue. This is absolute right versus absolute wrong. You cannot have elected officials sexually harassing, inappropriately touching, battering, assaulting women that work in Capitol Hill, or any women in general. But this is the group that we're talking about. This should not be allowed at all. All of them should be exposed and fired.
Agreed.
Because my suspicion is that maybe some of these women that voted it down perhaps also got a check just to make sure that this gets voted down.
Mm-hmm. If it's not money, it's power, dude. That's the only two universal currencies, and usually connected. Yeah. I completely agree, Chris. I have no explanation for this, but no, I want to see the list, because if it was someone that I supported previously, well, I'm not supporting you now. It's unbelievable, dude. Like, you would think at the very least, all of the women on both sides of this would be hand in hand, unified on this. We're gonna be like, no, we're gonna out some predators, because let's be honest here, the majority of sexual harassment victims are women. It can happen to men, sure. It has happened to men, like Terry Crews, for example, the actor. Like, he talks about getting sexually harassed, which is a very, like, very kind of a social faux pas when you're a guy, especially when you're a big muscular guy like Terry Crews. Like, who the fuck's gonna harass this guy? But he's like, it was a Hollywood executive.
Mm-hmm.
So it does happen to men, but women definitely have way more skin in the game on this topic than men do, because women are at a disadvantage.
And especially, all you hear from them is they want to increase women's rights and all these things. They want to be treated as equal in the workforce, while helping your dirty, filthy, fucking male congressperson cover up his sex crimes is not giving anybody rights. It's not helping anybody progress. You know what I mean? Like, this is absolute nonsense.
Agreed. All right, so we got one more real quick thing I want to touch on before we call it a night here. This is only going to take a couple of minutes, then we'll go ahead and wrap this. So this one, hot off the presses. We actually got this one in. I sent this one to Chris late after I'd already sent him the agenda. I just wanted to touch on this real quick because I thought it was super interesting. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and I'll give you guys the what's going on. Okay, so somebody basically found this by accident when they were downloading RoboCop Rogue City, which I played, by the way. And if you haven't played it, Chris, that game's fucking incredible, dude. Like, it's that and the Terminator game are both made by the same company. It's like they broke the streak of shitty movie games, and it's like they figured out the fucking cheat code and they figured out how to make them good. Like, they made the first truly good Terminator game because it takes place in the future, in the war, and the first good RoboCop game. So if you haven't played, Peter Weller plays the voice of RoboCop. Like, you can shoot guys in the dick, just like the movie. Like, all the check boxes that you want there in a RoboCop game, you've got them. Don't worry about it. So they're downloading that, and then they look at the actual executable, and they find something different. This has since been retconned on Steam, but they basically found the executable that led them to a completely different game that is called Hunter the Reckoning. Now, for those of you not in the know, This came out on GameCube. There was a version of kind of a spin-off game that was on PlayStation 2, and the main two games were on OG Xbox. Hunter the Reckoning and Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer. Guys, those are two of my favorite OG Xbox games. I keep waiting for someone to pick up the fucking IP because White Wolf Entertainment owns it and do something with it, because those games were amazing, dude. They were 4-player co-op. It was basically like if you took the style of like Diablo, like that style, like, you know, top down kind of hack and slash stuff, and you take out all the nerdy shit and you insert like vampires and werewolves, you have Hunter the Reckoning, where your 4 people are, I can't remember that there's, I'm totally like unfanboying myself on this. There's a name for it. They're called the Imbued, I think. The 4 people essentially are chosen by the universe, whatever you want to call it, and they have different capacities where they're basically like given abilities. And they're very, very different people. One is a priest, Father Esteban Cortez. One is a outlaw biker named Spencer Deuce Wyatt. One's a cop, a female cop, and one is a fucking rave chick. So they're 4 people who have nothing in common, have never met each other at all, but all of a sudden they have abilities. And at the same time, like, the next thing you know, the entire world is like fucking werewolves, vampires, zombies, and shit just like that. So they've got to come together, fucking take care of business, right? So the rumor is that the company that makes, I forget the name, is it Saber Interactive, I think? Please don't quote me on that. That makes RoboCop Rogue City might be secretly working on a Hunter the Reckoning game, because, guys, these screenshots weren't screenshots they found in the file. They found a fucking very early, like, pre-alpha build of a game that they could actually play. I mean, if you look how, like, kind of simple this is what video games look like before they get sexy and before they get released to us. They look very, very simple, just very basic textures, like robbery number 1, 3 men, etc. So they definitely found like what amounts to be like essentially a prototype of the game. Like, gather information about the Sunshine Bar shootout, talk to the diners, countermen, etc. Like, it's got actual mission objectives, and it actually has the name of the property. I want this so badly to be fucking real. Like, I really do. I want this to be so fucking real, just because I want someone to make a new Hunter the Reckoning game. For anyone who's never played it, I can definitely recommend Redeemer more than the first game. The first game is good, but Redeemer is the better game. That's the second game, because you have another class of character. There's 5. The Redeemer is the 5th class. The PlayStation game is okay. That's called Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. In my opinion, it's not as good as the Xbox games. It's okay, and it's kind of cool because it's different. There's a Wayward is the name of the class that you get to play as, and it plays a little bit differently, kind of the same, but a few extra things. Like, you have a limited number of lives, etc., which is kind of dumb. Where in the game, as long as you're playing multiplayer, if your boys are alive and they get to a fucking checkpoint, you respawn, which lends itself better to this kind of game, in my opinion. Hold on. Okay, you see, apparently we've got a fan. We got several fans here. I've been trying to figure out the name of this game for so damn long. Well, you're welcome then, fucking Revex community. Yeah, Hunter the Reckoning, Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, and Hunter the Reckoning Wayward are the 3 games. So, like that, Chris, since we were talking about like backwards compatibility, that's something I would play backwards compatible on my Xbox. I'd make an exception for that. I would show my kid the tube first and be like, I want you to give this a try. Play this with me on here. I promise you it looks better. Like, daddy's got everything set up. I've got the rig to make this thing look as clean as it possibly can. I've got a really high quality tube that is light years beyond what daddy had when he was young. Like, the blacks in this are going to be pitch fucking black. I promise. So if he's really my son, he'll be like, bro, tubes are awesome. Like, fuck you. So let's see. Aaron Strange. Fuck yeah. I love those games. The cheats were cool. You could play as the huge werewolves. That's true.
Yes. Sounds like Aaron is familiar with this franchise.
Aaron is very familiar with this franchise, and that doesn't shock me. Aaron's a friend of mine, so it's we've been buddies forever. He's on one of my shows. I'm not surprised at all that he's into this. And as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, I think that's Xbox 360 backwards compatible. I don't think it's Xbox One backwards compatible, though. Don't quote me on that. But I seem to recall playing it on a later system at one point and being like, oh, it actually works. So again, I want this to be true. Do you think I always played as the rave chick? Dude, I know that you always played as the rave chick. Like you don't have to tell me that, Aaron. Yes, I would have guessed that right out of the gate. That would be your spirit animal.
Play as the rave chick. You are the rave chick.
Yeah, dude. Aaron is the rave chick. Where I've told my wife many times, I'm like, all right, if I ever did have an affair with a guy, it would be with Aaron, because it would be like only 2% gay because he's very close to a woman. So it's like,
yeah,
it's okay. Like I don't even have to say no homo. I have to say like partial homo or something, but I digress.
Well, you would just have to say no glow sticks up my butthole.
No glow sticks up my butthole.
What rave chicks do.
And I'm wearing socks, so it's okay. That is my shield. But that game has one line that I will always remember. It's probably one of my favorite lines of dialogue from any video game ever, because this was some fucking beautiful one line, cold as fuck, just like ice cool. So it's from Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, where they basically come across a werewolf that's sentient, like that can actually talk, and they find out that they're on the same side. So they've got him like captive, they've got him captured and everything, and like it's kind of splitting the team. Like two of them are like, we need to eliminate him, like he's a monster, that's what we do, and the other two are like, wait a minute, like he might be able to help us. And it gets in between, I think it's the Redeemer, who's the daughter of the priest Esteban Cortez. She's the new one, and it comes down to her basically against Spencer Deuce Wyatt, like the outlaw biker, where she's like, no, don't shoot him. And basically Spencer is just like getting in front of her. So each of them have different weapons. I always played as Spencer for the record. He's got a fucking lever action Winchester and an axe. So you have like a melee weapon and a shooting weapon, and you can alternate between the two of them as much as you want. And she gets in front of him and she's like, no. And he just like sticks the fucking lever action in her face. And he's like, do not become an example. Like fucking ice cold, dude. Where I was like, that might be the coolest line I've ever heard in my life. Like that's some John McClane level shit, dude, where you're just like, he means it. And then of course, Aaron's character, the rave chick, is just like, if you guys are into measuring stuff, I think old Fido over here, the werewolf's got you both beat, because he's like a giant fucking werewolf. So yeah, probably has a huge hog on him. Just saying. So, all right. So if you're ever in the mood to check out some OG Xbox shit, Chris, dude, Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, since you play games with your kids, it's 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun, dude.
I'm pretty sure I have that on PS2, whatever the PS2 one is.
It's not as good as the Xbox One, bro. It's just not. It's honestly, like, and I don't say that because the Xbox is more powerful. It's a different game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an okay game, but the Xbox One is like a great game. It's like the more polished version of it. Just trust me. And you can get it for probably pretty cheap. And if you like that, then pick up Redeemer. That's the sequel. You will love that because it's like the better version of the first game. The story writing and everything, the boss fights. It's got a fucking metal ass soundtrack, dude. Like Slipknot's on the soundtrack and everything, man.
Oh, nice.
The first, if you really want to relive 2000s new metal, on the first one, there's a music video in the special features. A band called Coma wrote a song and did a music video specifically for the game. This is when it was cool to do those things, guys. So it's like, when you came out with stuff like, oh my God, there's a band doing a video, like, and it's on the extra features, like that was really hot shit when Xbox was in its infancy, where you're like, dude, this is incredible. They don't do that stuff anymore, and they should. But I digress. So that's going to be our game recommendation for this episode, guys. Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer. I don't need to sell Ravex Comedian and Aaron on it, apparently, because they're apparently already fans. But Chris, check it out when you get a chance and get back to us and let us know what you think. I think you will enjoy it. Great story, great gameplay, and it's fun, especially if you've got a group. So please check it out. So, Cristobal, any parting thoughts before we bring this episode to a close?
The world is a crazy, crazy place. It's ever changing, but the Regeneration X podcast will always be here.
You know what? I like that, but as soon as you started saying that, something else popped into my head. The world is a vampire.
We were just talking about vampires.
Yes, that's probably why.
I fit that in there. Yeah. And it's also a wrestling reference because he bought TNA. And
yes, Billy Corgan's a wrestling guy, so that's all I could think about. I was like, oh God, I'm going over to Billy Corgan. If you haven't watched this podcast, by the way, watch it. It's really interesting. Okay, well, see, Aaron was gonna say,
yeah,
I love it. I love it. Thank you for stopping by, Aaron. That actually made my night. All right. We'll go ahead and close this episode out. Thank you, everyone. Revex comedian Aaron Strange, Frankie, everyone who stopped by. We love you guys. Thank you for being a awesome audience and most importantly, participating. I apologize. I forgot to put you guys' comments on screen. I normally am really good about that. I'm so sorry about that. But we highlighted a bunch of you guys, so I think we made up for it. So it's all good. Anyways, enjoy the outro video. We will see you guys on the next stream. We will be back next Friday. Thank you very much and keep regenerating.
Yeah.